Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2017 GMC Sierra 2500, we're going to be checking out the Demco Hijacker Autoslide fifth wheel. So right off the bat, you may be wondering what's different about this fifth wheel hitch and a lot of the other ones. And what it does differently is right in the name, Autoslide. So what happens is when you're hooked up to your trailer and you make a tight turn or anything like that, what's going to happen is the head is going to automatically slide back and give you quite a bit of extra clearance. That way, you know, when you make those turns, the trailer, you're not going to have to worry about it coming in and taking out a cab corner or busting your glass out or anything. And that happens more than you would think on these short bed trucks. You know, you just don't have the space back here that, you know, an 8-foot or a long bed would have to offer us. And that's, excuse me, exactly what the Autoslide is going to fix. It's going to solve that issue. And that's actually what our customer today realized. Picking out everything he wanted, he originally opted for a B&W and I believe it was a Patriot hitch, which is just a fixed type hitch, and said, you know what, I don't want to have to deal with any of those issues being in a short bed. And so he went with the Autoslide. That way when he makes his turns, he's not going to have to worry about it. There are some other hitches that you can slide. The only issues with those is anytime you want to do that, you have to get out of the truck and either pull a pin or some type of lever to unlock it more or less to let you make that turn. And then, you know, have to come back and put it all back together when you're done. And I mean, does it work? Sure, but who really wants to deal with that? Having the Autoslide, it's something you're not going to have to worry about. It's there, it's ready to roll. You don't even have to think about it. And so, honestly, you know, I could see this potentially preventing some accidents as well. You know, with those ones that you have to get out and unlock and everything, it just leaves room for error. You know, if you're at the gas station maybe and, you know, you got to make a tight turn or something and you get out and, you know, your buddy's supposed to unlock it and he forgets and you pull out and end up taking out your cab or something. You know, things just happen like that, and it's always at the worst time. So having one that'll do it automatically, you know, really helps prevent any of those issues from happening and just makes your journey, you know, a little bit smoother when you're going down the road. But moving on, one thing I do actually like is the head here, and I say that because it pivots from side to side and front to back. And it's going to make it a little bit easier to hook up. You know, when you're backing up, sometimes you're not always perfect. And so this will kind of help accommodate that a little bit and get lined up to where it needs to be. And not to mention, too, just when you're going down the road, you know, hitting bumps and things like that, having that little bit of play, that little bit of motion in there, you know, I feel like it would just help pull smoother and kind of help prevent, you know, that chucking that you would get sometimes. You know, I'm sure there'd still be some there. It's kind of hard to eliminate that entirely, but I feel like having a little bit of give there would definitely help that. And it looks like, too, we have, I don't even know what you'd want to call these, guides that are adjustable. And so how I see it is you can get this lined up and kind of set these to the width of your pin box. And that'll kind of help force it into direction too, and should make it a little easier to hook up. If you look here where the jaws, if you will, go around the Kingpin, they make a full 360-degree connection, so it's secure. You know, pretty important stuff whenever you got a super heavy trailer you're pulling down the road. And the way it's going to work, you have our handle here, and that's obviously now in the closed position, but you're going to pull this pin, little safety pin out. You're going to open that up. That's going to lock it into that open position. And just like pretty much every other fifth wheel, here I'm going to simulate our trailer with this. You know, it's going to lock in. It feels firm. I mean, that thing's in there rock solid. I mean, granted, it's just a simulator, but, you know, you get the idea. And so once you're locked in, put your pin back, and that's really all there is to it, to actually hooking your trailer up to the Autoslide here. So the hitch is going to have an 18,000 pound weight capacity, And with that said, you don't want to exceed your hitches installation kit kit's weight capacity, which in most cases they're a lot higher than 18,000 pounds, but still double check. And also you don't want to exceed your truck's towing capacity as well. So just keep that in mind and always double check to make sure that you're being safe. That said, one of the big questions that we get asked quite a bit is if, you know, having this in here, a lot of people leave them in because they're heavy and they're kind of you know, tough to take in and out all the time. And so what a lot of people like to do is use a tonneau cover. You know, cover up the bed, keep the weather off it, keep it out of sight and everything else. And in this case, on our truck, it looks like it'll fit. It looks like we have a little bit of clearance left here that we should be able to get away with using a tonneau cover. Granted, that's something you got to keep in mind too. That depends on how you have your hitch adjusted. So on the side here, there's some adjustments that, you know, you can make to raise this up or lower it down. In our case, we have it on the middle setting. So, you know, if you bumped it up a little bit higher to the highest setting, it still looks like it would clear, but it's hard to say for sure without doing it. But I think you'd be in pretty good shape, especially with the middle setting. And if you were to go even lower as well, that'd give you more clearance. Of course, in order to use the hitch, you are going to need rails installed in your truck. Today in ours, we have the Demco rails and installation kit put on. With that said, you know, when it comes to fifth wheels and the rails, they're all pretty generic. Chances are pretty good if you have a relatively new fifth wheel installation kit on your truck, you can probably drop this in, but never a bad idea just to check with your manufacturer or you know, take some measurements, whatever you need to do just to verify that this will drop in. And with that said as well, I'm not sure if in 17 if the factory prep packages were out just yet, but if they are, or if you happen to have a different year truck where you have that prep package in there, you can use this with that. There's actually a kit, it's a couple rails that you kind of drop in the prep package and this connects to, that you could do as well to get this in the bed of your truck. So at the end of the day, a pretty nice hitch actually. It seems like a lot of people have some good luck with them, not really any complaints, and it would be one I would feel confident in, you know, dropping in my own truck, hooking up to a trailer, and towing down the road. And that'll finish up our look at of the Demco Autoslide Hijacker fifth wheel on our 2017 GMC Sierra 2500.